Hey, Mike. I'm always interested in lists. I love lists. Best this and best that.
Who doesn't? Who doesn't love lists?
Right. That's a list of anything. So Pro Football Focus, the website, really looks at the game pretty intensely, pretty critically, grades, gets all in there, digs into the crevices, and comes up with ratings for every positional group, every player. So now PFF has come up with its best 101 players in the NFL in the 2021 season. The best
101.
101.
Let's start with that. Why?
And hey Mike, you know who number one is? No, you don't.
He's the highest graded player.
Whoa.
Huh. Well, I mean, best left tackle in the league. I mean, I'm not shocked.
You're not shocked at Trent Williams as a number one player?
No. No, and I'm seeing this for the first time. This is according to PFF's grades.
Yes,
for the 2021 season. Yeah, okay.
Very
Trent Williams,
just mathematical.
I don't know what it says, but Trent Williams may have graded out as a 96.7 at left tackle, whereas Aaron Donald graded out as a 96.5 as a defensive tackle. They do different things. B, that does not mean that Aaron Donald is still not the consensus best player in the NFL. This season, Trent Williams may have done his job better than Aaron Donald did his job in the estimation of Pro Football Focus. But many people identified Trent Williams as the best tackle or best left tackle, either way, in the NFL. Nobody here surprises me, with the exception.
Really?
I did know that Joe Burrow was the highest graded quarterback. That to me is the headline. That
Joe Burrow.
PFF has a lot of credibility. So that most people are usual suspects. Zach Martin's a Hall of Famer. Cooper Kupp, Triple Crown winner. Aaron Donald's a Hall of Famer. Trent Williams is a Hall of Famer. Devante Adams, some would say he's the best receiver in the league, with apologies to Cooper Kupp. It's an argument. Myles Garrett, one of the best defensive players in the league. Brady, Parsons, all these guys in the top 10 and even in the top 20 are usual suspects.
Max Crosby
For Joe Burrow, he led the league in pressures, if I'm not mistaken. For Joe Burrow to be the highest graded quarterback in the NFL, that's interesting.
That's interesting. I think Mark Andrews over George Kittle.
Ahead of Tom Brady.
Andrews over Kittle surprises me.
I don't know about their grading system, but I mean, from a receiving standpoint, Andrews was second to none this year.
I got a couple things for you that I want to get your take on. I love this. By the way, I love this. I love this kind of stuff. I want to read you just some highlights on Aaron Donald. So he's been the top-ranked player. PFF. He's been a top-ranked player. Yep. Mm-hmm. Number one, 4 of the last 6 seasons, almost made it again this year. Okay, now this just blows my mind. Including the postseason, Donald once again, says PFF, topped 100 pressures, accomplishing that feat in 4 of the last 5 seasons. What is perhaps most impressive about his performance this season is that he played over 1,000 snaps in the regular season and actually registered the most snaps PFF has recorded from an interior defensive lineman over a season. Donald still pressured quarterbacks at an elite level despite being asked to endure a historically high workload. So he had more snaps than any interior defensive lineman.
That's crazy.
Think about that. So when he talks about,
he has to be in to dominate that much.
Right.
And I think I saw a stat. I'm gonna just estimate it to not get it wrong, but I'm pretty sure he led the league in double team win rate. Something like 23% of the time he'd be double team. Something like that. If you want to just get real analytical with it.
Well, and so I like the deep analysis, but I want to ask you something else, and this is interesting. So Cooper Kupp at number 3, not a surprise. Cooper Kupp could have been 1, he could have been 2, he was 3. Right? No shame in that. So you have Devante Adams at 5. Cooper Kupp at 3. Can I tell you what they said about Devante Adams? First line. Adams is the best wide receiver in the NFL. 20-second timeout. 20-second timeout. You got Devante Adams at 5. You got Cooper Kupp at 3. And you're saying Adams is the best wide receiver in the NFL.
If you and I take a test, you and I take a math test, and you get a 97, and I get a 95, but for the semester, on that you did better on that test. But for the semester, I got an A, and that just brought your average up to a B. I think over the course of his body
Cooper
of work,
Kupp did better in the semester, didn't he? He did better this semester than Devante Adams, right? On the test and in the semester.
Listen, man, if you want to say Cooper Kupp is the best receiver in the NFL, I'm not going to argue with you. But Devante Adams has had that crown. What's the difference in that grade from 3 to 5? Do you have that grade in front of you? What was that grade this year?
93.
What was Cooper Kupp's grade? What was Devante Adams' grade?
Okay, this is crazy, man, because I don't understand the grading system now.
That's exactly right. I mean, let's establish that.
Because
Neither one of us knows what.
I do, because listen to this. They got Kupp as 3. They graded him as a 93. They got Adams as 5. They graded him as a 93.2. What? Huh? What? Dude. Now, I'm not good at math, but I understand that.
Hairs
but you
here.
know,
that math ain't
here's the thing.
Splitting hairs here,
but,
regardless.
No, but this is where it becomes disrespectful, though. Said Devante Adams, best wide receiver in the league. And it's amazing that he's the best wide receiver in the league since he wasn't picked in the first round. I'm just playing. I'm saying. But he's best wide receiver in the league. But, you know, the disrespectful part, Mike, is when they said about Cooper Kupp. First line, Kupp is both a phenomenal receiver and the beneficiary of the kind of deployment that makes it almost impossible for an opposing defense to take him out of the game. So then they start talking about how much time he spends in the slot.
Why is that disrespectful?
Because they're saying he lined up in the slot 65.5% of the time, and it makes it difficult for defenses to defend him because he's in the slot.
Right.
But then they turn around and talk about Devante Adams saying, you know, it was tougher for him because he didn't spend as much time in the slot. So wait a minute, hold on. Cooper Kupp he spent 65% of the time in the slot, yet he's not a slot receiver. He operates out of the slot, but he's not a slot receiver. He's a wide receiver.
When people say he's not a slot receiver, it's like he doesn't fit the mold of the stereotypical slot, undersized, smallish.
Do you call him a
slot receiver?
Do you diminish slot receiver? It's almost like.
I don't think it has a negative connotation. It's not like system quarterback. It's not a system quarterback.
It doesn't have a negative connotation.
That was a tweet.
If you're not
for context, this tweet is from 2 years ago. The Devante Adams tweet is from 2 years ago. That's been going around a lot lately. Devante Adams.
Thank you, Devante. Thank you. Underrated receiver. Period. Like that. I don't think slot receiver is a slight if you're not a superstar. So if you just say
you don't think it's a slight if you're not a superstar.
If you're not a superstar. So if you're saying about Cole Beasley is a great slot receiver. Okay. I don't think Cole Beasley has a problem with that. Right? You don't have a problem with that, right? But if you say Cooper Kupp is a great slot receiver and you saw this man become the MVP of the Super Bowl.
No, he's not.
You saw him win the.
No.
He won the Triple Crown.
To a slot receiver. He doesn't operate exclusively out of the slot. He may operate primarily out of the slot, but again, it doesn't have. There's no negative. Who cares? It doesn't matter. It's like you're looking at slot receiver like, oh, you're just a slot receiver. Implicit is the just part, or he's merely a slot receiver. I take it as the Rams are using him right. So it's a combination of his talent, the fact that he's a complete receiver, and he's got a coach that's deploying him properly. Not to say that somebody else's coach isn't deploying him properly, but Sean McVay gets him open.
Let me tell you something. You just said something so good. It's so good. The Rams are using him right. Right? So, back to PFF on Devante Adams, when they said how he's not in the slot as much as Cooper Kupp, my thought is, well, why not?
Why not?
I mean, look, if it's harder to match up, Yeah, but not as much. Yeah, they did.
Maybe not 65%.
It's not even close. It's not even close.
I feel like he's in the slot quite a bit. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, I think it's like if Cooper is 65%, Devante's like in the 20s. I saw it somewhere else.
Is that right?
But if it's difficult, I think it's like 21%. If it's difficult to match up with a guy in the slot and you can't just put your best corner on him, well, why aren't you doing that? I think more offensive coordinators and more head coaches should do exactly that if it's so difficult. So I like that list. I love.
Are we gonna talk about the fact that the MVP, the back-to-back MVP, is only 18th on that list?
That's a surprise, huh? A little bit of a surprise. Hey, thanks for watching Brother from Another on YouTube. Make sure you hit subscribe before you leave, and be sure to watch us 3 to 5 p.m. Eastern Time on Peacock. Appreciate you.